Just got back from Japan and I want to do a haul of everything I bought while I was there and also give some of my hot takes about Japan and overall feedback on the trip. Starting off, I bought my dream purse. I love it so much. The brand is Polène. They are made in Spain, but I first found out about the store when I was in France a few years back. And I've been looking at this bag so many times and I finally pulled the trigger on it. You can use these little magnets on the end to make it like bigger, or you can make it smaller, and there's some different variations, different strap sizes, but I really like it. And then I also got, it came with this pouch that I think I'll use a ton, just as a little wristlet. But yeah, really jazzed about that. And then the other thing, I did show this in my last video, it was from Singapore, but they have this store in Japan as well, and it's Charles & Keith. And it's so cute. It's this little purse, and I believe it was only $60 or $70, and I think the quality is really good for the price. So if you're in Japan, check them out. I also snagged these really nice skincare sets from the hotel because they gave them to us each day in our room. The brand is Shola Reed. I feel like I've heard of it before. I'm probably not pronouncing it right either, but yeah, fun skincare products there. I got these chopsticks for Kyle and I to have on hand. They have some cool patterns here. I think they were like $5. And then I got this, super cute. So this is one of the hikes we did at a famous shrine temple, and I thought it was really pretty, and so I bought this. I think it was only like $3. Then Kyle and I got these little panda soy sauce things. I think they're so cute. They're plain white, and then when you put the soy sauce in, the little panda guy appears, but open it up. Super fun and cute. I think those would be great. I got a couple of these hair masks as gifts and for myself. I had a friend go to Japan a year or two ago, and she brought me back this, and it was so great. Highly recommend it. It's very affordable. I also loved these chocolates. They're like kind of like a Ritz cracker with chocolate on one side and just cracker on the other. Ate a lot of these. Then I got a bunch of face masks. This brand is really popular over there. I got this one has retinol in it. And then I just really liked the packaging on this one. I don't know what the brand is. And then I got these eye patches that are supposed to be good. They have like little like bumps on them, so I don't know what that does, but I think it's good for stimulating something. And then more chocolates. I got this little hairbrush. It was really cheap, but I think it's cute and fun. And then I brought back like honestly like 30 of these things. They're so good. I actually got stopped at TSA because I had so many in my suitcase, but it was worth it. They let me go. They said it was fine. I think the last thing I have in here is just this little hair flyaway thing. It's really popular in, if you can see it, in Japan, but it's this little cream and you're supposed to put it on flyaway hairs, and so they stay down. I actually didn't use it on my hair today. I should have, but really good. But overall, Japan was amazing. It's probably the most culture shock I've ever experienced, in a good way too, but it was just so different than the US in so many aspects. I did really struggle with the food. I think I went in just thinking it was gonna be like the best food I've ever eaten, and I was just gonna love everything and feel great after everything, but they use a lot of pork in things, whether it's like a pork broth or pork fat to cook things, and I typically don't eat red meat, and I got really sick from pretty much everything I ate. I was just trying to eat rice and some chicken throughout the end of the trip because that was really all that tasted good. That and like pizza if I could find it, but I was really bummed because I love ramen, I love dumplings, I love so many of the things that that culture has to offer food-wise. It just didn't agree with me. The other thing is I don't think I understood how crowded and populated it was gonna be. I mean, I knew it was busy. People have always said like it's the New York of Asia, but it is way more populated than Manhattan. Like you are like touching people at almost all times. I definitely got a little overstimulated from time to time, but very cool experience. Tons of people. Everyone is so nice, and it is a very clean city. You carry all your trash with you, and there's like no garbage cans, but there's no litter anywhere. It's honestly amazing. I can't believe they don't have any problems with that. It was a little hard to get used to at first, but I got used to that. The other thing is like you're not supposed to eat in public. That was a learning lesson because there's 7-Elevens everywhere, and I loved getting snacks, but you are supposed to take that somewhere else. You also can't eat in hotel lobbies. They're very weird about the eating thing, but they're also very kind, very respectful. They treat you like royalty, and I just felt guilty about that this time. So I'm like, no, it's okay. You don't need to bow to me or say sorry or anything like that. But yeah, overall, it was great. Kyoto was incredible. I loved all the nature up there and the temples. The only downside is we went during cherry blossom season, which is really only like 2 weekends in Kyoto, and it was so busy, but very cool to see the cherry blossoms. That was awesome. But yeah, honestly, if I ever went back or did it again, I think I'd actually prefer to go in like an off season where there's less people, just because I felt like that kind of took away from the experience at times. But I loved it. You should definitely go. The flight home from Tokyo, or from Tokyo to Seattle, was only like 8.5 hours. It was crazy. And then we just flew Seattle to Phoenix. So easy travel day. It's been a little bit hard to adjust back to the sleep schedule, but I think I've made it in like 3 days back now, and I'm feeling good. So yeah, that's all.